Hello, my name is Corey and welcome to my channel, Health and Fitness After 50. If you like my content and you want to follow me in my videos, simply like and subscribe and you will get notified when my videos come out. This is actually my second YouTube channel. I am very well known the world over on my first YouTube channel, which is Bach Scholar. I'm a professional pianist, as you can see here, pianist and piano teacher. And my other channel on, you can't miss it, on YouTube is Bach Scholar, the composer Bach and Scholar, all one word. So if you want to learn more about what I do in addition to Health and Fitness After 50, you can go over to the Bach Scholar channel and like and subscribe. I'm making this new channel because some of my subscribers seemed a little upset that I was uploading health and fitness videos on my piano channel. So just to appease my many subscribers that I have on the Bach Scholar channel, I decided to start this new channel devoted just to health and fitness after 50. I want to talk about my 6-month transformation. And it was a 6-month recomp, or total body recomposition that occurred over a 6-month period. Before I get into details on that, I want to just tell you a little about myself and about this channel. Well, my name is Corey, as I said earlier, and I have been, of course, a musician my whole life, but that's another thing. I've been interested in health and fitness and nutrition pretty much my whole life. When I was 19, I ran my first full marathon with a time of 3:14. This was in the year 1982. I was 19. And I also ran another marathon the next year. In those days, I was running 8 miles a day, usually one long one a week, like say a half marathon of 12 or 13 miles. In those days, I was in great shape. Of course, the glory of youth, 19, 20, 21, I could do anything. I was in great shape. I did Nautilus 3 times a week, and I was training like 8 miles a day. I was invincible, but I was young. Now fast forward 40 something years later, I'm 60. I just turned 60 this year. And I think I'm in pretty good shape, but this came with a cost. Throughout my 50s, I slowly gained weight and gained weight. So you can see a progression throughout my 50s. So between the ages of 50 and 60, my weight just skyrocketed upwards. My top weight between the ages of 50 and 60 was 245 pounds. Okay, 245. I'm only 5'7" or maybe 5'8", depending on what day I measure myself. So 245 at 5'7", way too much, way too much. So over the next 6 or so years, I yo-yo dieted, experimented with keto diet and various forms of the ketogenic diet, carnivore, and so forth. Fast forward 6 years later, now I'm 60 and I'm getting in the best shape of my life here. I'm actually, I think, in better shape than I was when I was in my 30s, actually. In many areas, I think I am in better shape than when I was in my 30s. I didn't always approach health and fitness very seriously and scientifically as I do now, since when I reached the age of 60 earlier this year, I finally told myself I am going to quit yo-yo dieting and I'm going to quit yo-yo exercising. I was a yo-yo exerciser and I was a yo-yo dieter for like probably all throughout my 50s. Now I'm 60 and I want to change it. So now let me tell you what I did to achieve my body recomposition in this 6-month period. Actually, just about 2 days ago was my 6-month anniversary of my workout program. So I finally started a workout program in March of this year, 2023. And in this workout program, it's a very regular thing. So I'm no longer yo-yo exercising. I'm actually exercising with a plan throughout, with goals throughout an extended period of time. This is actually the first time I've done this in many years. I don't know, I can't even remember the last time I became so serious about exercising. But I think, this occurs in your 50s or 60s. You finally come to the realization, yeah, you've got to change things if you want to get better and succeed and not die early. What I did in March is I started my exercise program, which really is pretty much done at home. I work from home and I can do pretty much everything except maybe bench press and squat with a rack and stuff at home. So I've done everything at home with mostly just with dumbbells and a pull-up bar and push-ups and all the old-fashioned kind of exercises. And I exercise probably an average of 5 times a week. Some of those days even 2 times per day, like once in the morning, once in the night. So I'm pretty consistent with it, with my workout routine. I incorporate all kinds of resistance training coupled with cardio. I definitely am not a distance runner anymore. So I don't do cardio like I did when I was 19 and I ran marathons, but I use a weighted vest now, so I do some rucking. For example, this morning I just went on a 1.5 mile hike with 30 pounds on my back, and then after that I did some exercises. So in March was my the official start of my exercise program. 6 months later, which is September, which was just a couple days ago, then I achieved my 6-month anniversary, and this is what the results looked like. So you can see on the photo on the left is when I began my program in March. I was a little over 182 pounds. By the way, before I was 182, several months before that, I was actually over 200 pounds. So I was well over 200 pounds, like 205 or so. And then I went on a pretty strict ketogenic diet, and that sort of helped jumpstart the weight loss to the sub 200s. And then I went carnivore, pretty much like 90% carnivore diet after that for a few months, so maybe about 3 months, and it jump-started still more weight loss. But then once I reached a certain point, I didn't really feel right about the carnivore diet anymore, so I stopped the carnivore diet and began to eat carbs again. And now, currently, I eat a normal diet with everything, all the food groups, and I don't omit anything, but I control my calories. That's what I do now. So it's a calorie controlled diet right now. And here's what I do. Once a week, ever since I started my exercise program in March, once a week, and it happens to be Tuesday, I don't know why, I just chose Tuesday. On Tuesdays, I take a photo of myself, usually in the morning. And every week I take a photo of myself. And you can see that on my website. You can go to the links below this video and click on that. And it takes you right to my music website, and I have a separate sort of page there where I have lots of photos and explanations about my exercise program, if you're interested in that. So I take pictures of myself once a week, and I examine the photos, and I ask myself, what could I do, what more, or what could I do different, or whatever. Or sometimes I just let it be, and I just let myself progress, and I just look at myself through the months and through the weeks, and see how I progress. So in this particular instance, in this 6-month recomp program, so let me just clarify what recomp means if you don't know that. Recomposition, body recomposition means basically losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. And ideally, it means that you keep the weight the same. So these two examples here, I was a little over 182, 182.5 at the beginning of my exercise program. 6 months later, as you can see here, I was 180. So I wasn't a whole lot lighter. I was just like 2.5 pounds lighter. I just lost 2.5 pounds, that's all. But at that same time, throughout that 6-month period, as I was, losing and gaining that weight to finally sort of settle down to 180 for this last photo, I was losing fat, but I was gaining muscle at the same time. So of course, if you just know your math, if you lose 5 pounds of fat and gain 5 pounds of muscle, your weight is not going to change. That's why I recommend weighing yourself every day. And that's another thing that I did at the start of my exercise program. I weigh myself every single day, every day. And I don't use bathroom scales because they're not very accurate. I have 2 bathroom scales and they're like 3 pounds off from each other. So I've learned to I'm an early riser. I get up in the morning and I usually take a little walk or do some cardio or something. I go to the Publix, the store that is really close to me, and they have like a big heavy duty scale. It's very accurate. So I go there and I weigh myself there so I don't have to deal with these stupid bathroom scales that are not very accurate. So I weigh myself every day. I write it down in the spreadsheet, and I use this to help me with my photos, and then it helps me track my progress throughout the weeks and throughout the months. So now, how did I do this? How did I go from this guy on the left who was 182 and a fair amount of fat to be lost? I did have I had a fair amount of muscle for my size, but I just had too much fat. So it's a long process. Recomping your body is a long process. So if you go to my website, you'll see the photos throughout the weeks and the months, and you can see the progression. But I also have a spreadsheet that I can't show you right now, but I have my own little spreadsheet where I actually have my weight, and I usually, what I do is I average my weight through the weeks. So it's not just a daily thing, but it's more of a weekly average. And I've been pretty much averaging around 180. I think my top weight in this 6-month period was like 182. My absolute lightest weight was 175. So I'm right in there in, around 180 or so. So I feel right now my best at 180. And currently, just a couple days ago, I looked like the photo on the right. That's a big change in 6 months. I did a lot of exercise. A lot of work went into that new physique only 6 months later. Now, just to show you what it was like a little more recently, I can show you the photo of the last 3 months. So if you look at this set of 2 photos, you can see on the first one on the left, I was 178, so I had lost a little. I was pretty, becoming leaner. But I was a little, I lacked muscle tone, so I did a lot of exercise, of course. And then 3 months later, I looked like the person on the right. Now, let's look at these 3 all together. So let's look now at the starting photo when I started my exercise program, 3 months later, and then 3 months later. So here is those 3 photos here. So you can see a very steady progression going, but I think that there's more of a dramatic change from the last 3 months than the first 3 months. you can see more muscle definition. You can see more of a V taper starting to appear in my body. You can actually start to see my abs. You know, I'm sort of hopefully getting rid of some love handles on the side. So I was only 2 pounds heavier I was only, 2 pounds lighter 3 months ago, 2 pounds heavier now. But the composition, the body composition is the important thing, is the overall proportion of fat to muscle. So this is why if you want to go on a recomposition program, at any age, you don't have to be, 60 like me. You can be any age. You can be 20. In order to do this kind of thing, I highly recommend to do these things. I highly recommend, one, weigh yourself every day, which I've told you before, and number two, learn how to track your calories and your macros, your protein and your fat and your carbohydrates. Learn how to track that. Get a good tracking app, and really learn how to track your calories. This is something that's not done overnight. It took me several weeks, or maybe even a couple months, until I really had it down to where I knew what I was putting into my body, and I had a good feeling of how many calories I put into my body. So currently, I don't necessarily write everything down and calculate everything out anymore. Sometimes I do. But what the calorie counting and the calorie tracking has done to me is it's given me a really good idea of what I'm putting into my body. So for example, today, I had a little breakfast, and I had like a mid-morning meal, and in those 2 little meals that I had so far, as I was eating them, I just could do it pretty much in my head. I calculated pretty much in my head how many calories I was eating, which comes to, it's roughly about 800 calories. So right now, as I speak, I know that I've eaten about 800 calories so far today. And I have to, in order to sort of just maintain my weight, to not gain or lose, I have to be at about maybe 2,300 calories. So I've eaten 800 already. So there's a lot more room. So I have room for, well over 1,000 calories. I have room for 1,500 more calories. Some days are different than others. If I exercise more on one particular day, I'll eat more, and vice versa. You know how it goes. It's really interesting. I think it's fascinating the way that one has control over one's body and one's body composition. So I just wanted to share this with you and show that even at the age of 60, it's possible to achieve really great and dramatic results if you do these things correctly. And if you really stick to a program and don't yo-yo diet, don't yo-yo exercise, stick to an exercise program, stick to kind of a dietary plan, especially one that you can control your calories. And if you keep your calories close to maintenance level, to where you're not gaining a whole lot, you're not gaining or you're not losing, but you're just sort of floating along at that sort of maintenance mode. Or you can eat a little bit more. That will sort of jumpstart that muscle growth phase. So weighing yourself every day is not, the point of weighing yourself every day is not to, beat yourself over the head if you're a pound heavier on one day. Oh, I just gained a pound, or I have to, fast and starve myself or something. No. The reason is just so you can keep yourself in line. Just to keep yourself in line. Like if you have a bank account, and you do finances and you want to do your personal finances, you always have to sort of know what's in your bank account. You have to know how much money is in your account. And daily, every day, you log in and see what your balance is in your checking and savings account. Well, that's the same thing as weighing yourself every day. So weighing yourself is not supposed to be something that you do in order to torture yourself the next day because you gained a pound or that kind of thing. It's just supposed to keep you in line like your finances are. So I think that weighing yourself every day is one of the best tools you can use if you want to achieve recomposition of your body. Also, keeping track of your calories and knowing what's going into your body. And also, first and foremost, make sure you get enough protein. So I discussed some of these things on my website, but I wanted to just share this video with you because I'm really excited about my progress over 6 months, and I'm sure that I will have one in 6 more months now, which will be my 1-year anniversary of exercise program, and we'll see what happens in another 6 months. I hope it's as good as the first 6 months. So thanks for joining me. I hope that I can help you out and give you new ideas in health and fitness after 50. If you're interested in this, like and subscribe, and go to the links below this video where you can learn more about my health journey. So once again, my name is Corey. Thanks for visiting my new channel, Health and Fitness After 50. Until we meet again.